This is a Samsung Note Galaxy 8.0. It's an 8-inch Android tablet with a 1280 by 800 screen, a quad-core processor, and 2 gigs of RAM, and 16 gigabytes of storage. Basically, it's more or less equipped to handle anything you need out of a tablet. Included with the Galaxy Note 8.0 is the S Pen, which is a pressure-sensitive stylus that lets you treat your tablet more or less like a paper notepad. It's fast and responsive and can handle your handwriting with ease. Also, one thing that S Pen does is it gives you the ability to hover over mini